Imagine turning the key and hearing a legend come back to life. Today we are diving deep into what could be one of the most talked about muscle cars of the modern era, the 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429. This video is a full review-style walkthrough covering the exterior, interior, performance, and pricing, built around the idea of a modern revival inspired by one of the rarest Mustangs ever made. If Ford were to bring the Boss 429 name back, this is exactly how it would need to feel. From the very first glance, the exterior of the 2026 Mustang Boss 429 would have to communicate power without apology. The design would likely start with the latest Mustang body but heavily reworked. A wider stance would be essential, with aggressively flared fenders that immediately hint at what is hiding underneath. The hood would be the star of the show, featuring a massive functional scoop paying homage to the original Boss 429, designed not just for looks but to feed cold air directly into a huge performance engine. The front fascia would probably be more menacing than any standard Mustang, with a deeper splitter, darker accents, and a grille that feels almost industrial in its simplicity. Expect slim LED headlights with an angry expression, paired with subtle Boss 429 badging rather than loud graphics. This car would not need to shout. Its presence alone would do the talking. Moving to the side profile, the wheels would be large and purposeful, likely 19 or 20 inches, wrapped in ultra-wide performance tires. These would not be show wheels. They would be forged, lightweight, and built for serious grip. Behind them, massive brakes with painted calipers would be impossible to miss. A lowered ride height and carefully sculpted side skirts would improve aerodynamics while giving the car a planted, ready-to-pounce look. At the rear, the Boss 429 would stay true to Mustang heritage with triple vertical taillights, but modernized with dark housings and sequential lighting. A functional rear diffuser and a subtle lip spoiler or low-profile wing would finish the look. Quad exhaust tips would sit proudly at the back, delivering a warning to anything lined up behind it. Overall, the exterior would be a perfect blend of classic muscle attitude and modern performance design. Step inside, and the interior of the 2026 Mustang Boss 429 would need to feel special the moment you open the door. This would not be a standard Mustang cabin with a badge slapped on. The seats would be heavily bolstered sport or racing-style buckets, likely trimmed in premium leather and Alcantara, with contrast stitching and embossed Boss 429 logos. They would be designed to hold you firmly in place during aggressive driving while still being comfortable enough for longer trips. The dashboard would combine retro inspiration with modern technology. Expect a fully digital instrument cluster that can change layouts, including a classic-style gauge view that mimics old-school analog dials. In the center, a large touchscreen infotainment system would control navigation, media, and performance settings. Ford would almost certainly include exclusive Boss graphics, startup animations, and drive mode displays that make the experience feel unique. The steering wheel would be thick and flat-bottomed, wrapped in high-quality materials, with metal paddle shifters and a center stripe for track reference. Real metal and carbon fiber trim pieces would replace cheaper plastics, giving the cabin a more premium and motorsport-inspired feel. Even small details like the door panels and center console would carry unique stitching patterns and Boss branding. Despite its performance focus, the interior would still offer modern comfort and convenience. Dual-zone climate control, premium audio, wireless, smartphone integration, and advanced driver assistance features would all be present. This would be a car you could daily drive if you wanted to, even though it would clearly be built for much more aggressive use. Now let us talk about the heart of the beast, performance. A modern Boss 429 would absolutely need a special engine to justify the legendary name. While the original car was known for its massive big block V8, a 2026 version would likely feature a modern naturally aspirated or lightly hybrid assisted V8 designed for high revs and brutal power delivery. A displacement somewhere around 7 liters would make sense for the name, pushing output well beyond 700 horsepower. This engine would be tuned for raw response rather than just numbers. Instant throttle reaction, a spine-tingling exhaust note, and a power band that pulls hard all the way to redline would define the experience. Ford would likely offer both a 6-speed manual for purists and a lightning-fast dual-clutch or advanced automatic for those chasing lap times. Power would be sent to the rear wheels through a strengthened drivetrain and a limited-slip differential designed to handle serious abuse. The suspension would be fully upgraded with adaptive dampers, stiffer springs, and revised geometry for improved cornering stability. This would not be a straight-line-only muscle car. It would be engineered to dominate road courses as well. Braking performance would be just as important, and the Boss 429 would not disappoint. Massive multi-piston calipers paired with oversized rotors would deliver consistent stopping power even under heavy track use. Optional carbon ceramic brakes could be offered for those who want the ultimate setup. Steering would be sharp and communicative, giving the driver confidence at high speeds and through tight corners. Acceleration would be brutal. A 0 to 60 time in the low 3-second range would be realistic, with quarter-mile times deep into the 10-second territory. Top speed would likely be electronically limited but capable of exceeding 200 miles per hour with the right configuration. More than the numbers, though, the car would be about the feeling. The vibration, the sound, and the connection between driver and machine would be the real highlight. Finally, let us talk about pricing. A 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 would not be cheap, and it should not be. This would be a low-production, halo-level Mustang designed to sit above the dark horse and GT500 in exclusivity. A starting price around $90,000 would make sense, with well-equipped versions easily climbing past $110,000 depending on options. Limited production numbers would almost guarantee high demand, and many examples would likely be snapped up by collectors the moment order books open. Dealer markups could push real-world prices even higher, especially in the first year. Still, for enthusiasts who value heritage, performance, and rarity, the Boss 429 name would carry a weight that justifies the cost. In the end, the 2026 Ford Mustang Boss 429 would represent more than just another fast car. It would be a statement that old-school American muscle can evolve without losing its soul. By blending iconic design cues, a thrilling interior, and jaw-dropping performance, this modern Boss 429 would honor its legendary past while carving out a bold future. If Ford ever decides to bring this name back, this is the kind of car the world would expect, and the kind of car enthusiasts would never forget.